Welcome to the Middle Ground. I'm Ohio Divided. He's Michigan Metal, and we are coming off the first full weekend of NFL and college football. It's back, baby. All the way back. Weather's cooling down, football's on our screen 5 days a week, and the takes are already flying. But the question everybody's asking, what happened to Michigan? Many thought Bryce Underwood would instantly elevate the Wolverine offense. Instead, Saturday showed us the opposite. Fingers are pointing everywhere if you look at Michigan Twitter right now. Is it Sharon Moore? Is it Chip Lindsay? Or is it even Bryce Underwood himself? Dave Portnoy called him the best freshman ever. Did he go a little too far? Here's what I know. Was Michigan's 2023 title run really about talent, or was it all about their elite play in the trenches that they had all throughout the 3 years of hardball success? Because right now, it feels like those problems up front are carrying over from last season into this season. And I know, Metal, you have plenty to say about this one. Stick with us, because later in the show, we're going to break it all down and get into what really happened to Michigan on Saturday when they lost 24-13 against Oklahoma. But before we get into that, Metal, what's up, brother?
What's going on, man? Just hanging out from beautiful Virginia Beach where it's 40 fucking mile-an-hour winds out right now. I can see the 8-foot waves crashing on the beach. It's absolutely beautiful with some F-18 or F-16s just flying over, doing some test runs. It's absolutely beautiful. The most freedom thing you can see in your entire fucking life. Had a weird weekend. Shitty football. Both my teams lost. Michigan, everyone already knows about that. Seattle Seahawks, we'll get into that a little bit. They fucking lost to you. But last night, man, I needed that little pick-me-up. You know, it's like a little bump. You're out in the middle of the night. It's like 4 a.m. You're at a club. You know, you got that little bump. I'm just kidding. I don't do cocaine. But, you know, it felt good. It felt good watching the Bears lose and the Vikings win, which I'm not a Vikings fan, but I definitely was rooting for JJ. So,
yeah, you got to pull for your boy.
Oh, yeah. But, man, how was your weekend, man? How's everything going?
It's good. It's pretty chaotic right now. If you can hear a little bit of an echo, I don't know if listeners can or not. I'm in the process of moving right now. So at my current house, I'm in a room that is completely empty right now, laying on my stomach in the floor doing this show. So not the normal setup that I typically have, but hey, we're going to make it do. We're going to make sure we keep getting some episodes out to you, and I'm going to work through it. We'll find a way.
Wait, you said you're literally laying on the floor?
Brother, I don't even have a chair here. Like, I'm legit laying on the floor, like, laptop. I got the mic set up. Like, I am on my stomach on the floor, still in my dress pants and dress shirt from work today. So, Metal and I are living some very hectic lives right now, so sometimes you got to just make do with what you got, and that's a little bit what I'm doing right now.
I like it. Overcome and adapt. That's good right there. I like it.
Yes, sir. So let's get into it. Our first topic of the night, J.J. McCarthy. Came out starting a little slow. He looked like he hadn't played in a year. Comes out into the second half, throws a pick six, and at that point I think everybody was like, oh boy, this could go south really quick. But then they put some drives together, and he ended up having an absolute phenomenal game. 2 touchdown passes. I think one was to Justin Jefferson, and then a third on the ground and his feet to ice the game late to go ahead 27-24 to take down the Chicago Bears. What did you see from JJ last night, Metal?
So last night, early in the game, when he was dropping back in the pocket, I noticed that he did look a little bit flustered, and I don't think like it really helped him out like with Minnesota's like O-line at first.
Oh, they were getting fucked up early in that first half.
Yeah. You can tell Ben Johnson's defense was like pressuring him pretty much in the first half to where like he was sacked in the pocket where one he tried to evade the pocket and tripped. Like he just looked flustered. You can tell that like he's a little not shaky but a little rusty. I mean the kid hasn't played a snap in like football like in a regular season game.
Since the national championship game. That was his last like normal game.
It's like over 600 days.
Right.
You know, and we were going to see, you know, some ups and downs. And when he threw that pitch six, I was like, ooh, I've seen that before. I saw that against TCU. He threw a couple passes to Justin Jefferson that were a little bit short, and then I noticed that like a couple wide receivers too, like for Vikings, that like they were just kind of all over the place too, like just not getting separation. I mean, the Bears in the first half, like they were playing really good coverage, and also the Vikings had no run game. I don't know if you noticed that too, but Jones not basically getting down the field at all, wasn't helping out with JJ in the pass game. And I was looking on Twitter, and you got people like Ohio Tate and then Spiro and then Intrinsic and all them like just completely shitting on JJ, and I was like, fuck. Like maybe the rumors, or not the rumors, maybe the statements were true. Like just JJ is a terrible quarterback, but that was not the fucking case. So in the fourth quarter, and what I've been saying for the past couple of years, that J.J. McCarthy is a motherfucking winner. He knows how to fucking win. All right? Overcame adversity, overcame those hurdles with his first touchdown pass to Justin Jefferson. And then he had that, I think, 30 or 40-plus long bomb to was Aaron Jones, number 33. I could be saying his name wrong. But had that touchdown right there, and that basically put the Vikings back Vikings in the lead after being down 17-6, and scored with Justin Jefferson to 17-12. Went for two, didn't get it, which I know they threw that kind of like a bubble screen to the tight end, like a rollout like screen a little bit, and man, that guy was so fucking slow. I can't remember his name, but I don't know if you remember watching that. But it was basically like they were in man coverage at that point.
Yeah, I didn't watch it too close. I mean, I watched it close enough to know how the game went and everything, and it was honestly a wild game just from start to finish. It was almost like two games within one, where the Bears literally controlled anything and everything. JJ struggled in the first half, and then the second half came into the script, it was completely flipped. I mean, the Bears came out, got the pick six to go up 17-6, and then from that point forward, it was all Vikings, and JJ played much better. I think from JJ's perspective, like you said, he hadn't played in over 600 days or something like that. So if you told me with a guy who just as young as JJ is, and like we've talked about, wasn't asked to do a ton at Michigan, if you told me that he came out in his first NFL start and struggled, I would not have been surprised at all. But I don't think that would have been fair to say that he was a bust from game one. I think it was a testament just to him as like a character and as a leader, just his character and his leadership abilities to understand like, hey, my first start is not going well. I'm playing like shit. We're on Monday Night Football. Everything's going bad. We got all these narratives out there about me. To kind of regroup, get himself to find a way to get back into it and really ultimately play a phenomenal game by the end of it. I mean, I think that's a measurable that you can't always tie a number to is somebody's character and somebody's leadership. But if you were able to, I would say J.J. McCarthy is definitely one of those guys that's at the top of that list. He's an elite leader, a guy that people want to rally around. And like you said, he's a winner. Like he's 62-3, I think I saw today, from basically the start of high school all the way into the NFL. Like the dude has a proven track record of winning. He's going to have his ups. He's going to have his downs. Every player does. But I think there's a lot to be excited about, and it was very impressive to see him bounce back the way he did.
The last regular season game that J.J. McCarthy lost was in 2019. That was it. That was the last one.
In high school, I assume?
Yeah, in high school. Probably that was at maybe IMG Academy. But, I mean, it's really poetic. Like, he comes off, gets drafted in the NFL, a lot of hype and, like, expectations out of him. The first preseason game, he tears his ACL. And that's extremely unfortunate. Out for the year, then Sam Darnold takes over. And then Kevin O'Connell being like the quarterback guru. Sam Darnold takes the Vikings to be 14-2, and then we saw that they just completely struggled in the playoffs against I think who they play, the Rams? No, who they lose to in the playoffs last year? Was it the Rams?
It might have been. I don't really remember. Yeah. I'm a Bengals fan, so I don't pay as much attention to the NFC as I do the AFC. But it could have been the Rams.
But we saw that happen, and then he comes back. A lot of hype, a lot of expectations. Um, the side note, like the Bears look good, like offensively, like you can see where where Ben Johnson's like footprint is on that offense compared to like last year, to where like you had Matt Eberflus, who was the head coach of the Bears, and they just looked like they struggled the entire time. Like you can see the O line was getting some better protection for Caleb Williams. I did notice that Caleb, like, he did scramble out of the pocket a little bit, just because of the pressure that like the Vikings were sending like 5 or 6 or 7. Um, and then he was getting some open passes to like Odunze, to Moore, and then like Colson Lovin and Cole Kmet. The one thing I didn't see, and or no, I did see, but something that like Caleb Williams kind of missed a lot, and I know Ben Johnson kind of pointed this out, and so did Troy Aikman. That like Colson Lovin was open a lot throughout the middle, and like Caleb Williams was like not giving him any looks, to which was interesting. And maybe that's something that like Caleb is just gonna have to learn as like he progresses throughout the season. Um, I don't know. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it definitely was like I felt like Michigan football after the shitty weekend that we saw with the stale offense. Like I felt like Michigan football really just needed that last night. Just seeing JJ McCarthy just going to a division rival, playing in a primetime game on ESPN, playing in his hometown in Chicago, and just winning. Like playing like shit the first half, coming out, just don't give a fuck attitude, or like the chip on his shoulder, and just slinging the ball in the third quarter. I mean, he looked pretty good. Like out of all the quarterbacks that played out over the weekend, he had the highest QBR of 98.5, which, and he broke like records for like the first rookie to ever score 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter in the first game. Like I don't know if you saw that or not, but I mean it was an overall good game. The Bears just fucking collapsed. Like they just collapsed throughout the whole game. Like their offense just played like shit in the second half.
Yeah. I think like as into like Caleb Williams, I think a lot of what got him into trouble, at least, I mean, when he struggled at USC and then his rookie year in Chicago last year, is he likes to play off schedule and off platform a lot, meaning he's not always a guy that takes a drop, reads the defense, delivers a ball. He's a guy that likes to run around, scramble around, and in the NFL, that doesn't really work as much as what it used to, or it doesn't really work as much as what it does in college, just because the athletes and the defensive linemen are so much quicker, so much bigger in the NFL than what they are in college, where Caleb was able to get away with that kind of stuff at USC, where he's not going to be able to get away with it as much in the NFL. I thought like the first few drives, the first half, but in particular the first few drives, a lot of times, as like many football fans know, those are typically scripted by the coaching staff. The quarterback is very well aware of what plays are running, like the first 10, 15 plays, how they're going to attack them. And I thought Caleb Williams came out like, whoa, like this guy looks different than what he did last year. But I think as the further along as you went in that game, you kind of started to see him go back to his old ways of like scrambling around, like kind of just playing on that off platform, playing off schedule like he likes to do. I mean, he's good at it, but it's just harder to play that way when your name's not Lamar Jackson and you can just run around and run away from everybody. Like he's just not quick enough, athletic enough to play that way against like NFL defensive ends and linebackers. They're just too good, too big, too quick. But I thought you saw like Caleb Williams kind of go back to his old ways as the game progressed.
Yeah, like after, like you said, the scripted plays, like he kind of just fell apart. Like there was just like bad, like inaccurate passes, just like missing looks, and you can see the frustration on like Ben Johnson's face. Like Ben Johnson, I don't know if you noticed this, but he looks like the type of guy, like you can just tell, like you can see the anger, and you can just tell like he's going into that locker room at halftime or at the end of the game and he's screaming at these guys. Like he's not putting up with this shit. Like compared to like Matt Eberflus or whatever bum ass coach Chicago's had for like the past like 10 years. Like you could see where like Ben Johnson cares, and he's not going to let this team fail. Like I feel like Chicago is going to be a better team with Ben Johnson. I mean, they looked better last night,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you read like they have some injuries like especially in the secondary and having one of their best linebackers out. Uh, like you could tell this team has improved like a lot. Like is it definitely like a 180 team compared to last year? Um, it's just
Yeah.
like I guess all things, with Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
Um,
I think there's a lot to be excited about with Ben Johnson, and I think that that's really a lot of his focus is to coach a lot of that off-script, kind of off-platform play out of Caleb Williams and keep him more on schedule, keep him more in time with his receivers, get the ball out quick, like all the things that you hear successful quarterbacks do. I really do think that that's been a big focus for Ben Johnson and trying to coach a lot of that into Caleb and coach a lot of the bad out of him. But yeah, I think that he is a phenomenal coach. I mean, we saw it his entire time at Detroit. Jared Goff came in and played exceptional within his offense, and I think that Caleb Williams has all the talent in the world. Nobody's denying that the guy doesn't have any lack of arm talent. I mean, the guy he can throw a football.
yeah.
He's
Oh, dude,
very talented throwing the ball. He can make any throw on the field. It's just he gets strung away from doing the things that he should do and just doing the simple things and running the offense where it's almost borderline like trying to do too much type of a good way to put it. I think that's Ben Johnson's focus is just really trying to get that out of him.
Do you think it's a Chicago like? Because I noticed that when you watch like Caleb Williams, like where like he'll improvise like out of the pocket and like try to make these long flashy throws, like basically to to the sideline or like just kind of just finding an open receiver. I mean, you see that a lot last year, and then when Justin Fields was quarterback, you saw that too. Just because like there was no time for Caleb Williams or Justin Fields to sit in a pocket without like just that pocket collapsing. Do you think it's more of like a footprint that they have planted now, to where like they are not comfortable sitting in the pocket just because of like the past years? Or do you think that's just the kind of player that Caleb Williams is?
I think it's more. I mean, I don't. I think that the Bears have had offensive line issues that have kind of caused him to scramble around a little bit. But you saw him play this way a lot at USC, where he was running around, doing a lot of the off-platform stuff. It just worked at USC because the competition is so much worse. Like I said, like he's able to run away from linebackers and defensive linemen in college, where the NFL, everybody is much more talented, much quicker. You're just not able to play that way as much. I really just think it's probably a little bit of both. I know that the Bears have really focused on trying to shore up their offensive line. I think it's gotten better since like Fields has been in town, but I think it's still a little bit like you got to coach it out of him from where he was when he came into the league.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like last night, like besides like Caleb Williams, I think the best part of like JJ just going out there in the fourth quarter and just overcoming adversity and just having that fucking dog mentality was when JJ threw that 74-yard pick. Ohio State fans and other fans that just thought JJ was a shit quarterback and needed Connor Stallions and he's a handoff merchant were going nuts yesterday. And just to see the absolute fucking collapse of people on the timeline. Like I think I saw Richard Sherman talking about that J.J. McCarthy is not it. Colin Cowherd said J.J. McCarthy is not the quarterback for the Vikings. Skip Bayless said that they need to start looking at Carson Wentz. And it's just like, dude, you guys made the worst fucking takes that you can possibly imagine. And like the game's not even fucking over yet. And then we see JJ just go out there and just had that, that complete poise and confidence just to win games. I mean, that's the shit that, we saw as Michigan fans, and I'm sure Ohio State fans, I'm sure you saw this too, right, throughout his college career. Like, we saw that against Alabama when they were down and they're basically in 3 minutes doing like a 2 minute drill in under 3 minutes. the drive, 75 yards for a touchdown to put the game into overtime. We saw that. We saw that happen, and he did that a lot in college. I mean, against the TCU game, he played like shit, but also, like, if you look at it, the kid had fucking 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns. Even though he did throw 2 pick sixes, like, the kid just doesn't fucking quit. Like, he overcomes adversities, and like his mental game is completely intangible. And that's something that you rarely see with, like, especially young quarterbacks, like, where they learn that throughout the years as they play football. Like, this kid just has it. And I feel like the Vikings are in a really good position. And he will just, like, continue to just, like, develop. And I saw Justin Spiro, and I'll give credit to him. Like, he was talking about how JJ's poise and like his dogfight mentality is like no other. Like, he just doesn't quit. And like, I saw a lot of people give like credit when like credit was due. And then you got other people that just are completely arguing in bad faith. Where like, oh, the Bears, they didn't play anybody. Like, let's like constantly move the Bears don't have anybody on their defense. Their defense is terrible. Their secondary is hurt. Blah blah blah. Like, just constantly like moving the fucking goalposts. And you realize, like, dude, JJ McCarthy is a good quarterback. Like, I know it's just one game, but this is something that like the Vikings and the NFL is going to see for a very fucking long time. Like, I don't know if you feel the same way about it, but he's him. I don't know what it is. Like, I was so fucking happy watching that game last night. Like, it was crazy. It was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, I think JJ can definitely be a really good quarterback in the league. He's got all the tools. Like I said, he's got arm talent. He's got leadership. He's got everything that you want in being a quarterback. I think the only thing that was against him was just not being asked to do a whole lot in college. But anytime a quarterback or a player from a rival team makes a mistake, you're going to see it on social media. I don't think I've gone a single Sunday not seeing a million Michigan fans tweet a video of C.J. Stroud throwing an interception. So just part of it. That's just how fans are going to be fans. So let's move on to, you had said you wanted to talk about the reporter that hilariously ranked Florida, moved Florida up 2 spots after their 18-16 defeat of South Florida, little brother of their state.
Yeah, so obviously we all saw that, the huge upset. University of South Florida beat Florida, DJ Lagway, and we saw in the AP poll that Florida dropped from the rankings. Then UCF or USF. South Florida took the spot at number 18, and there was a beat writer for USC named Haley Sawyer, where she ranked Florida ahead of USF, and her reasoning why was, I don't want to go too much into my process or logic. Lol. It's really fun, but it doesn't probably matter in the end. My fucking thought process on that is, for one, you don't watch the fucking games. You probably don't know who USF is. It just makes people that are beat writers have a bad look on them at this point, because now you just make everyone else look like assholes. And not only that, you're a woman and you're a beat writer already in an extremely competitive environment. Now you make other women that are beat writers in this job field look like dumbasses, and like you're just basically, you're just shitting on yourself that these fucking people in the AP polls have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, especially when they're ranking these teams.
Yeah, I think that she's just, for either one, doesn't know what she's talking about, or for two, I think she really just wants to get her name out there. And people just do shit like this to get their name out there, get their content out there in front of people. And sometimes it's falling on the sword to look like a complete dumb fuck, which appears what she did.
But didn't we do that with Brad Holmes? Did we fall on the sword a little bit? People recognized us?
Yeah, that was, we didn't try that though. She might have not tried that either, but that's really bad.
Yeah, that was pretty terrible.
Speaking of Florida, let's get into the college football week 2 recap. Had a good week. It wasn't the best week of college football that we've ever seen, but it's college football nonetheless. Couple games that we wanted to highlight. Ohio State 70, Grambling State 0. Really thought Julian Sand took some really good steps. It was good to see the offense click. Obviously, I'm only taking everything with a grain of salt. 70-0 blowout. There's really not much to talk about. I think it was just really good to see Julian Sand get out there, get some reps under his belt, really start to throw it around a lot. And the kid's got some fucking talent, and the kid can fucking throw the ball. I think that's the most that you can see from his performance on Saturday. I think that he is as accurate as a passer as what we've seen even out of the likes of C.J. Stroud at Ohio State. I mean, every single ball is about damn near right on the face mask. I think if he can continue to develop, continue to grow, I think this offense, the sky is the limit for them. And I think it's a world it could be more explosive than what it was last year, just because Julian Sand is that good of a passer and just distributing the ball to the playmakers.
Yeah, I mean, they played Grambling. They played Grambling, which is, HBCU school. I feel like it's not fair for me to say, they played Grambling, blah, 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 blah. Who are they? They're just a marching band fucking school. It is not easy to go perfect 15 for 15, to throw 15 perfect passes and not have a single drop or a single incomplete pass, especially in any, football environment. So, hats off to Julian Sand. I knew that, going into this game, that Brian Hartline was just going to unleash because fucking Grambling State is Grambling State, The real battle is at halftime between, the marching bands, right? Yeah. But, again, it's not an easy feat overcoming, throwing incomplete fucking passes. So, hats off to Julian Sand because he played really well. In my opinion right now, I think Julian Sand is probably one of your guys' best quarterbacks I've seen in a long time for Ohio State. And I'll probably even say maybe, better than Will Howard. He just looks so natural and calm and poised and confident just sitting in that pocket. But, we'll see, especially, when Ohio State plays, at Washington and at Illinois, when that first road test, which I believe is Washington, and we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, he's got a while to go. I mean, he looks really good throwing the ball through the first 2 weeks. I think the Texas game they kind of had the training wheels on him a little bit, but no, he looked good. I think he's got a really good chance to be one of the best to play at Ohio State, but he's got a lot more to prove. He's got a lot more to build upon, but I've liked what I've seen from him.
I do. Would you say this is crazy to say that I believe that Carnell Tate will have a better year than JJ?
I mean, I could see it. People are going to be taking Jeremiah Smith away, and there's a plethora of riches, so take Jeremiah Smith away. We'll just hit you from 8 other different options.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremiah's going to get his, Carnell's going to get his, but if you said that, I mean, the year that Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave were on the outside, JSN was the one that led the team in receiving yards that year, and I think a lot of that was due to they were so focused on the other two, so somebody else is going to have more opportunities. So, I mean, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
But I don't think that takes away from how nutty Jeremiah Smith is. I think that's just the game plan that guys are going to have going in. Was there anything else that really stuck out to you in week 2? I know that we're going to kind of get into the Michigan game here later. I think Oregon, they're fucking steamrolling everybody, kind of like they always do. Dante Moore is really fitting into that offense there. Clemson, they had a scare. It was 16-0 at one point. I was pretty engaged in that game. Obviously, they turned it on in the second half and rattled off 27 straight to win 27-16. But if they would have lost, that could have ended their season with them having the week 1 loss and a weak ACC schedule from there on out. Other than that, did anything else really stick out to you? We talked a little bit about Florida going down to USF. USF came into the swamp. Florida might be in for a long year, and it might be time to move off of Billy Napier.
Don't they play LSU next week?
I don't know who they play. I just know that they have one of the toughest schedules in college football. Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah,
But I know that they play LSU.
And then
Yeah.
they play Miami, then Texas, then Texas A&M, then Mississippi State. I mean, Mississippi State looked pretty good against Arizona State.
And then Georgia.
Then Georgia, then Kentucky, Ole Miss, then Tennessee, and then Florida State the last game.
It's
Dude,
not good down in Gainesville right now, that's for sure. This was one that you had to win.
Yeah, you got to beat USF, but USF looks really good. Like they already have ranked wins this year, like beating Boise State and then Florida.
Were they ranked in the AP this week?
Yeah, they're 18 now.
Okay, I was going to say they should be. They came out week 1 and beat the shit out of Boise. Beat the shit out of Boise. And then they went into the swamp and took down Florida, who's ranked 13th. They have every right to be ranked at this point. Good for USF. But Billy Napier, man, your time is ticking, and I don't know if you got much. I don't know if you're going to have any more opportunities after this.
No, I think another game. Like I was basically just watching a bunch of games in multiview, right? And then I saw Penn State was struggling against FIU. Like it was 10-0 at half, and then 13-0 like going through the third quarter, and like obviously like their offense like picked it up. I don't know if Penn State's going to be top of the Big Ten this year. Their defense is good. Like Jim Knowles' defense is pretty good. You can see like a lot of like FIU's like plays, like they're just not FIU's not good at all. But Penn State's offense was just struggling to move the ball throughout the game. Where Drew Aller was in mistakes.
They did lose their best offensive player last year in Tyler Warren. Like a lot of production went through him last year that is now currently out the door. So it's not like we've seen Drew Aller or James Franklin really like perform, especially when it came to the postseason or playing top teams. So this could be Penn State. This is a do or die year for them. I still think they'll probably win 10, 11 games and get into the postseason, but they're not looking to just get into the postseason. They're at the point where it is like it's time to win a national championship. And I don't know. It's a long season. You never know. You see some offenses kind of sputter at this point in the year, still kind of trying to figure some things out. But yeah, Penn State. Definitely something to observe the next few weeks. They can start to put it together. They don't have much of a schedule until they get into Big Ten play, so they have some time to figure it out. But yeah, you just expected a little bit more from them this year with everybody returning. They added some guys in the receiver, from the wide receiver end of things, from the transfer portal. I think you just expected more at this point.
I think Oregon's going to go into Happy Valley and win against Penn State.
I could see that with how Oregon's looked. They just beat the shit out of Oklahoma State, who's a Power 4 school, 69-3.
Yeah, dude, they're freaking good. Dante Moore is good.
Yeah, they're better than what I was expecting. I think after Ohio State beat them in the college football playoff last year, everybody kind of wrote them off, and it's like, dude, Oregon has recruited as good, if not better, than anybody else, or up there with anybody else in the country. So I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Oregon goes in and does that because they have the talent. They've recruited with the best, and they're going to be able to match up with about anybody that they'll play.
Yeah, they're going to be good this year. I expect them to be at least the top of the Big Ten. I did watch the Illinois Duke game. Illinois just continues to impress me, dude. Like Luke Altmaier looks very good. Like their offense just knows how to move the ball down the field. Like they struggled a little bit in the first half against Duke, and Duke was making a lot of mistakes, just terrible turnovers. But Illinois, they looked so disciplined, less mistakes, less penalties. They can just move the ball down the field. Luke Altmaier just looks so comfortable in that offense. I won't be surprised if Illinois is just going to be a problem. And I'm really excited to see that matchup between Ohio State and Illinois. I think that's October time. But yeah, which I did predict this that Illinois is going to be in the top of the Big Ten. I don't know, what did you watch that game at all on Saturday?
I watched the very beginning of it, not enough to really see how the game shaped out or anything. I probably watched 15 minutes of it, but I obviously saw the score. I know what Illinois has and everything. Ohio State goes to play them then second weekend of October at Illinois. I saw some people kind of clowning Ohio State fans on Twitter saying, "Oh, this is just like another Indiana. They're going to go in there and beat the shit out of them, yada yada yada." I mean, they might. Like Ohio State's probably going to be more talented than Illinois, but Illinois is a good, well-coached, physical football team. That's never easy to beat, especially when it's on the road.
Yeah, I agree. They looked so disciplined, dude. Like I'm excited to see what Illinois does like throughout the season.
Yes, sir. Anything else on college football before we move on to the week 1 of the NFL?
No, sir. Let's do it.
Week 1 of the NFL, just to say, it is phenomenal having football back on 5 days a week. Monday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, having it 5 days a week. You always have primetime games on Sunday, Monday, Thursday. You got the primetime games, big college football games on Saturday. But it is awesome seeing college football, NFL, all football completely back 5 days a week. And here before long, we'll be getting it 7 days a week. So it'll get even better. But a wild week in week 1 for the NFL. You saw the Eagles come out, win 24-20, had to delay on Thursday night. The Chargers absolutely kicked the shit out of the Chiefs. Jim Harbaugh's got that. I think the Chargers are going to be a force this year. The Bucs came back late, defeated the Falcons 23-20. The Bengals got luckier than fuck. Finally won a week 1 game for the first time in 5 years. Beat the Browns 17-16. I think it was more so the Browns beating themselves than the Bengals beating the Browns. But hey, first time being 1-0 in 5 years, I will take it. Colts 33, Dolphins 8. Go ahead.
Dude, Joe Flacco, those 2 picks that Joe Flacco threw were not his fault at all. I was like, damn. Like, this is like the most Browns way to fucking lose a game. Like,
yeah, I mean, they weren't the best. I mean, the receivers touched it, so they probably should have caught it. He definitely could have made a better throw too. But I saw so many people like Bengals fans, like they're just so stupid, man. Like the Bengals fan base is so fucking dumb. They're sitting here like hyping up, only 49 rush yards, 2 takeaways, only allowed 16 points. And I'm like, dude, the Browns suck. Their offense is horrible. The Browns' defense is probably a top 5 defense in all of football. But outside of that, their weapons are not great. They have a 40-year-old quarterback, and they have an average at best offensive line. Like, to sit here and be this excited about it is, like, I don't know, dude. Bengals fans are delusional. Like, it's just, they hate it when anybody, like, talks shit about them. And it's like, just watch the game. Like, Flacco threw for almost 300 yards. Their average-ass receivers were cooking our dog shit DBs. Like, this is going to be another year of having defensive issues. The Browns should have won that game. The Bengals played like shit. They did not deserve to win that game at all. The first half, they played well. Second half, they had 7 total yards. Just a complete fucking disaster. But I don't know. 1-0. The only thing that I keep telling myself is it's 1-0. Last year, we had everything bounce against us. Nothing went our way. And if we just had one more win last year, we were in the playoffs. So 1-0. Let's get on to week 2. We got the Jags. I don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah, the Browns held you guys to 7 yards in the fourth. I think the fourth quarter or the second half?
Second half.
Dude, that oof.
I mean, they're deep. The Bengals are very well documented that they take a little bit to get going. Like, it's always like the thing with the Bengals is like it's week 4, week 5 before the offense really gets going, which they're very pass-happy offense. Like, I always say that they're a very on-schedule offense, and it requires a lot of timing in their offense. So I think that's a lot of the reason why they start a little bit slow. But I'm not worried about the offense at all. But, yeah, I mean, the Browns' defense is fucking legit. Like, it is as good as any defense as there is in the entire NFL.
Yeah, the D-line's really good.
The DBs are really good, too.
Yeah, Denzel Ward was all over Jamar Chase.
Greg Newsome. I mean, they got Grant Delpit back there. I mean, dude, that's a legit-ass defense. If they had any kind of offense, they're 1,000% a playoff team.
Oh, yeah. I was like, not surprised that, like, Myles Garrett just basically just going out there dominating, like, your guys' offensive line. Like he's just so fucking good. And
Yeah.
like it helps out a lot that Mason Graham's there because I was watching like Mason Graham was getting double teamed a lot. Like I don't know if you noticed that. And like that basically just opened up Myles Garrett to just go in and do whatever he wants. That hit that like Joe Burrow took, like Joe
I don't know
Burrow's a
how he got
fucking
up.
dog. Yeah, I did. I
Like,
would
I
have
have
sat there.
no idea how he got up. He got fucking smoked. I saw that afterwards, and that just made me want to, like, curl up and cry. Like, it was like, oh, my God. He literally could have died. Like, that is Myles Garrett, probably the freakiest athlete on the face of the earth, coming full speed and just fucking your world up.
Fucking Terminator, man. Yeah, dude, he's fucking really good. Big ass dude too. But Joe Burrow, man, he's tough. He can take hits.
That's
Like,
well
he doesn't back
documented.
down. He doesn't back down.
He takes hits, that's for sure. So how about your Seahawks? Would you see from them this weekend?
So my positives. I thought JSN played a hell of a game. I noticed that like he obviously took a lot of. He was targeted. I think 83% of the passes had over 130 yards.
83% of the passes? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, he was
83% of Sam Darnold's throws went to him?
Yeah. So if you look at
Holy fuck.
if you look at the stat, like basically the field sheet, to where like it shows like the JSN's like routes, basically like in like the receptions that he had and like the targets, the fucking route tree looks like literally like a fucking like it looks like a tree. Like all the routes, like there's like a bunch of branches and shits. Like you can tell that Sam Darnold is so comfortable with JSN, but everyone else on that offense, like for receivers wise, like he has no confidence. Like Cooper Kupp played like dog shit.
Yeah, Kupp only got 3 targets. I'm looking at it now. That's crazy.
I think Barner got targeted a couple times. I mean,
Barner, yeah, he had 2 targets. Kenneth Walker had 3, but he only had 4 yards to go with it.
So like the
damn,
offense,
JSN had a good day. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he had a really good day. Like I mean that just goes with like all the Ohio State receivers Sunday. Like they just played phenomenal. Like Emeka Ibuka with the 2 touchdowns and the game-winning catch, or basically the touchdown that gave like the Buccaneers the lead. Garrett Wilson and he played really well. Who else from Ohio State?
Saw Harrison scored.
Yeah, that Marvin Harrison Jr. He had 2 tutties. Like all Ohio State receivers played well, right? My biggest thing like with the Seahawks is like their offense just feels so stale. And I'll get to that here in a second. But going on like more positives, like the defensive line played really well to where they stopped Christian McCaffrey for negative yardage on a lot of plays, which last year we didn't see that a lot because the D-line was just dog shit, and they put a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy. He threw 2 picks yesterday, and basically the D-line just looked like they completely flipped 180 from last year.
Christian McCaffrey only had 3.1 yards per carry. They did hold him in check pretty good. That's on 22 carries too.
Yeah. So now the negatives. Or actually one more positive. I thought Sam Darnold played okay. Like I don't think like he played like miraculous or like exceptional. Like he did in there. He went and did his job. Besides like the last drive to where Bosa pushed Lucas into him, and like during Sam Darnold's rotation, he fumbled the ball. Not really Darnold's fault. That's more Lucas's fault for not being able to hold up on Bosa. I will say this. Rick Woolen is a fucking terrorist. He is the equivalent of ISIS and Al-Qaeda. I want him off my fucking team. I cannot stand him. He is so bad. He just causes so many issues for the Seahawks. The last drive that the Niners had to where Brock Purdy was throwing a seam route. He literally fucking stopped, watched the ball, and I forgot the dude's name. Number 1 for the Niners caught the ball, and that put him in the red zone position. And then I think Seattle was they were like 3rd and goal, and Brock Purdy was being pressured. Brock Purdy rolls out. Tyreek Woolen is guarding the backup tight end for George Kittle, and dude, like just a terrible effort in deflecting the pass, playing the fucking ball. Like San Francisco catches the ball while like Tyreek Woolen just basically watches. And I'm at that point, like I'm texting my dad and my brothers. I'm like, dude, get this guy off my fucking team, dude. Like he's been such a problem. Like he did this last year. He did it against the Vikings where Sam Darnold had the game-winning drive where Addison caught the ball and Tyreek Woolen was, basically covering him and just played like lackluster bullshit. So I think we have a huge problem with him. I like other than that, like I thought K9 didn't look too well, and you can kind of just tell like where like he's kind of taking.
Is he losing a step? Is he kind of like slow now? Would you say? Not slow, but like he doesn't have as much explosiveness as what he had.
I would say so. Like he suffered a lot of injuries ever since like he got drafted in 2021, or 22. Like he's just been like going through injuries, like oblique injuries, like ankle injuries, calf injuries. Like he's just having issues like staying healthy.
I mean, this is year 4. I mean, this is year 4 for a running back who's had some injuries. Like this is kind of how it goes for a lot of guys. Once they hit kind of that 5-year window, it's like, you see a significant drop in production, and I can see that, especially if he's been fighting injuries.
I do think Charbonnet is going to be running back 1 eventually. I think Charbonnet has progressed significantly throughout the years. Like he's a big like power back, and like he can also like be useful like a screen running back to where like he can get you some yards, especially in like tight situations. Last thing I thought was good. The offensive line looked so good besides Luka's fuck up. But the offensive line looked really well. And that's something that, Seattle has been struggling for the past like 6 or 7 years, just because where like the O-line has been so lackluster and it's been so many issues like for quarterbacks like, Russell Wilson and then Geno Smith, to where like I thought Sam Darnold wasn't really experiencing a lot of pressure on Sunday. And the O-line just played really well. There's just something about the offense. Like we need another weapon on the offense. Like I don't think like I think JSN is great, but when JSN is targeted like 83% of the time, like it doesn't really help that like Cooper Kupp or like Bobo, like he didn't play, but nobody else on the offense and receiving wise is really going to step up.
You need a counterpunch to him for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the best teams, the best offensives have multiple ways to beat you. It's not just force feeding some guy 15 to 20 times a game. It's the teams that can beat you from many different ways, many different styles of offense that they can do it. So, yeah, if they can find another weapon, I definitely think like Sam Darnold's competent. I don't think like he's a top 10 quarterback in the league, but I think if you put some pieces around him, get him a good run game, like I think he could be a competent quarterback. And like, I mean, we saw it in Minnesota. He made them a playoff team. So I definitely could see that.
There was something that I think that like Mike Macdonald just needs to learn is like you're playing your divisional rival, your main rival. Fuck the Niners, by the way. It was 4th and 1, and it's in the fourth quarter, and we decided to kick it with Money Moody or with not Money Moody. Fuck, what's his name? God damn it, I just totally forgot our kicker's name. Anyways,
Seahawks kicker.
Yeah, Money. God damn it, I forgot his name. Anyways,
Metal? I think we might have lost you, brother. I think we might have lost Metal. Give it a couple minutes, see if he bounces back here. Not looking that way. But anyways, to kind of round out the NFL segment, obviously I was very impressed. I was impressed by the Packers. I thought they came out with a really good game plan. Lions defense is a little weak. There was an issue for them last year. But that defense with Micah Parsons, you add him into the mix. This Packers team is a legit contender for a Super Bowl this year. I thought Jordan Love looked really, really good, made some really good throws, ran the offense exactly how he needed to run it. Other than that, I mean, that Bills-Ravens game, that game was absolutely wild. Wasn't expecting the Bills to come back at the end there. I think it was like a 99.4% chance of the Ravens winning with about 4 minutes left in the game. I think the score was 40-26, if I'm not mistaken. Bills go down, score, get it within 40-38 at one point, and then go down and kick a field goal to win it. That was one of the better games that I've seen. I actually went to bed with about 5 minutes left. I was like, this game's over. Lay in bed, go check Twitter, see all the things that are going on Twitter. Everybody's talking about their Bills making a comeback and all this. But yeah, that was an awesome game to kind of round out the long day of football on Sunday. And then last night you had the phenomenal game between the Vikings and the Bears that we had talked about already. Kind of two games within one. Bears won in the first half. Vikings came back in the second half. Came up on top 27-24. I think Metal's wicking his way to get back in here. But aside from that, NFL Week 1 is back. Week 2, I haven't had a chance to really look at the matchups and whatnot for next week. The Bengals have the Jaguars next week. I'm not really sure what to expect when it comes to that game. I'm a little nervous. I feel like the Browns kind of exposed our secondary in particular last year. I think the defensive backs definitely left a lot on the table. A lot more separation than I would have liked to see against, like I've said, average receivers that I would call the Browns at best. I mean, Jerry Jeudy, I think he's a competent receiver, but I mean, like Cedric Tillman, whoever else they have out there as receivers, like those guys are solid, but they're not up there with some of the best receivers. They're not up there with even some like the top 20, top 30, top 40 receivers in the game. So that was definitely a point of concern for me. I think Cam Taylor-Britt is still showing struggles that he showed all of last year. So many times you just saw him with just flat-footed, like sitting there waiting for a receiver to come out of their break, make a break in the middle of their route or at the top end of their route, and he's sitting there flat-footed reacting, where he ends up 2 to 3 yards behind the guy, another completion. It was pretty obvious, and anytime the Browns wanted to make something happen, they targeted him. They went at Cam Taylor-Britt, which why wouldn't you after seeing the 2024 campaign that he had? But he needs to step up. If this secondary is going to be any better than what they were last year, he's got to be 10 times better. I saw him supposedly went and met with Al Golden this week and promised that he's going to be better moving forward. But it's gotten to the point with Cam Taylor-Britt where it's like, dude, I've heard you say this all last year. I heard you comments from Lou. Like, we are looking to have him be better. We are looking to have him improve. But you're just not. You're not seeing it. Like it's kind of it's just all talk at this point. You're not seeing the improvements. You're not seeing what you saw the first couple years with Cam Taylor-Britt. And DJ Turner's a guy right now. I mean, he's a CB1. Him and Dax Hill are probably the two best corners, which is a long fall for grace for Cam Taylor-Britt, who was definitely going into the last year as their CB1 and probably third on the depth chart at this point. So he's got to put it together. He's got to figure it out quick, or I think that he will get replaced. You back?
Yeah, dude, that was weird. Discord did an update as I was like going on my rant,
Well, that was perfect. I just threw some bullshit together to round out the NFL segment. So I think we're ready to move on to Michigan. And I know this is a segment you've been waiting on, Metal. So just to kind of lay the framework, Michigan falls to Oklahoma, goes on the road, a game that was always going to be tough. I mean, going into the season, this was a game that you guys, Michigan fans, I mean, rival fans, immediately circled on the calendar for Michigan, where I think if you won this game, I think you felt really, really, really good about the trajectory of your season. But if you told you early on, like, hey, we went there on the road at night to Norman with a freshman quarterback and we lost, like, I don't think you guys probably would have been too crazy surprised by that, I guess you could say. But I think it was more so just the way that it looked. And when I say the way that it looked, I think just the offense as a whole. And really right now, I mean, I was listening to Menace to Sports today. They were talking about it's basically a civil war right now within Michigan fan base. And I was like, that is the best way to put it, because I go on Twitter, I see you, other Michigan accounts, you're fighting about if it's Chip Lindsay, if that's his name, Sharon Moore, what Bryce Underwood needs to do. The defense didn't look great. The offensive line didn't look great. It kind of just seems like everybody's throwing a lot of shit back and forth amongst your fan base right now. And I get it. Like, it was a pretty frustrating loss, at least I'm sure from a fan perspective. I would have been very frustrated too. Not saying that you guys shouldn't be frustrated. But what did you see? Let's hear it, Metal.
So positives that I saw, I thought defense played well, enough to where, like, they obviously forced, like, a couple of turnovers. Like, John Mateer just made some bad passes, and I thought Hill at first, he played pretty good with a couple PBUs. The D-line, they stopped Oklahoma just to only have 48 yards rushing between their two running backs. It was just that John Mateer was just killing us, especially with, like, the QB reads, and when, like, Michigan would send, like, 5 or 6, he was just, like, rolling out, and, like, Michigan was just not making any fucking tackles. And it's just like there was a sloppiness at that point. And you can't have, like, a really effective defense if your offense is not moving the ball down the field, then you're not giving your defense any breaks.
Yeah, they're on the field the whole time then.
Yeah, and that's what I felt like. Michigan's D-line played well. Like, they played good. It's just that when, like, and especially the linebackers like Houseman and Barham, like, they came back and they played pretty well. It's just, when you're on the field all fucking day, you're just getting exhausted and tired. And I was wondering why, like, Wink Martindale wasn't spying Mateer at first, because, like, I feel like Oklahoma, I forgot his, like, the guy's name, their offensive coordinator, like, him and Mateer have been playing together for years.
They both came from Washington State, right?
Yeah, they both came from Washington State. So, like, there's a trust there between the OC and the quarterback. And, like, he just let Mateer do his thing. And he made big plays. Like, I think Mateer is probably the number one Heisman runner-up right now. Like, he looked so good. I mean, I know they just played Michigan and, like, they just dominated them. But, like, he was just making plays, especially, like, just rolling out, avoiding tackles. He looks so evasive. Like, he doesn't look like a running quarterback, like, where they'll just slide and move up the field a little bit. Like, he was literally dodging tackles, like, just juking people with his feet. And that's one thing, like, that's just, like, that caught my attention with Mateer, that, like, he can, like, be missed, like, easily.
He's a gamer, man. Like, I don't think that there's one thing that you're just like, he is really good at that. But he just does everything pretty well. Like, makes plays, extends plays with his feet. He can make throws on the run. I mean, he's not going to ever probably be an elite NFL quarterback, but I think he's, like, a perfect quarterback for college, where he's not real big. Like I said, he makes plays with his feet, but he he's just a gamer. Like, he just shows up when he needs to shows up, and big time moments he makes big time plays. He just seems like kind of one of those guys. He's a dog.
He is. And like what makes him so dangerous is that like he can move with his feet, you know, especially like rolling out in the pocket. Like when the pocket collapses, and I notice this a lot, the pocket would collapse, he would roll out, and then now the coverages are fucked. So you would see like number 5 or number 4 to where like they would get open in the seams because the DBs have no idea what the fuck is going on at this point. And now you're losing somebody who's going to be either in the curl zone that's going to be either forcing Mateer or staying in that spot. And when they force Mateer, someone else is getting open on that offense, either their tight end or number 5 or number 4. And I saw that a lot Saturday night, and then just like watching like game film. For him, I definitely think that like he's going to be like the Heisman finalist. Like I definitely think he's going to win the Heisman this year. Like he's just so talented as a quarterback.
You got John Mateer as your Heisman winner?
I think so now. I think he's going to be a Heisman winner. Who else besides Sane looks really good. Sane looks good. Like obviously J.J. Smith looks good. Cade Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier looks pretty good. But like I just feel like Mateer like kind of just stands out. Like he's like just leading this team, and we'll just have to see like outside of playing like preseason games and going into like SEC movement. So I think they play. Don't they play LSU soon, or who do they play next? Like
I'm not real familiar with Oklahoma's schedule, but Mateer I think definitely could be up there. I mean, yeah, he definitely could go on and play really well this year and win the Heisman, but there's 10 games to go for most teams. Like there's a lot of football to be had, and
yeah, that's awful.
A big part of it is winning big games, which check that off the box for Mateer. He did that early. He won a ranked matchup early in the year. That's definitely a feather in his cap if you're talking about Heisman odds. Like I said, I think he definitely could be a guy that's there at the end, but there's a lot of football to be played. I don't know if I'm really ready to name somebody or deem anybody the Heisman to this point, just because some guys that we've seen and maybe we were expecting to play really good this year, they've started a little slow. But, I mean, 2 games is only 2 games. When you got 10 more to go and then you got big matchups coming up, if you perform well in those matchups, that's only going to help you for your Heisman argument.
Yeah. I mean, I can see that. Maybe I jumped the gun just a little bit. I mean, I've jumped the gun saying that Alabama was going to be, SEC. I mean, you have a lot of time left with that.
I mean, you make predictions to make predictions. It doesn't mean that it's always going to be right. It's more so having the balls to make the predictions and then to admit when you're wrong after the fact. That's where, I mean, you see the best analysts in the game. They make those same mistakes all the time. So I mean, right. I like it. I mean, it's not like you're sitting here saying, what the hell was your quarterback's name last year? Davis Warren. It's not like you're sitting here saying, I think Davis Warren's going to win the Heisman. Like it's.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Davis Warren, yeah, win the Heisman. Yeah, 46 yards against Ohio State. So like, what did you see with Michigan's offense? I mean, I'll let you go first before like I completely fucking tear this team apart.
Yeah. Yep.
What did you see with Michigan's offense that you liked, and what did you see that you didn't like?
So I think it's like my opinion on Bryce Underwood from week 1 to week 2 has not changed at all. I think I see an extremely, extremely talented kid that can throw the ball as good as anybody in the entire sport. The ball jumps out of his hand. He's got a lot of life on the ball when it comes out of his hand. I think when you're talking just in terms of talent, it's there. It's as advertised. He's going to end up being a good player. But I think that some fans, and in particular, especially Dave Portnoy, like, you just put some unrealistic expectations on an 18-year-old that has only played 1 college game. You're calling him the best freshman ever, as he hasn't even gone into the game yet and play an SEC school on the road. Like, just to have those expectations and to say those things on national TV, you kind of put the kid in a really bad like, it's not fair to Bryce. Like, the kid is 18 years old. He just was playing high school football just a couple months ago. Yes, he's talented, but playing quarterback at a really high level against the best athletes in the country is not easy. I think the biggest thing that I see from Bryce, he's got a rocket arm, and he throws the ball really, really, really well on the run. But I put this graphic on here for a reason. I don't think Michigan needs somebody to coach up his fundamentals. Where if you look at the screen here, like, his feet are pointing to the left, his shoulders are pointing to the right, and he's not pointed towards his target at all. It's as dumb and as little league type shit as it sounds, but it's like, position your feet, position your shoulders, aim at the target, and throw. Like, that's what you are taught from day one, where he's doing a lot of these, like, off-script type throws where he's not getting lined up to his shoulders lined up to his target. He's not getting his feet lined up to his target. He's kind of doing, like, the sidearm type stuff in a way, which he's probably done it his entire high school career, and I'm sure it's worked for him plenty of times. But at this level, like, you need those good fundamentals. You need to be coached up at the way that he should be coached up to be successful. So for one, I think that they need to really hone in on his fundamentals and not really doing the stuff that you're seeing right here on screen. For two, I put the note in here. He was 2 for 16 against blitzes, which is 12%. That's a death sentence for a young quarterback. What that tells me is he's not reading the defense as well as what he probably maybe not should be, because he's a true freshman. Like, it's really, really, like, he was watching high school defenses. To go from watching high school defenses to Brent Venables' defense and studying it and knowing where blitzers are coming from, where the coverage is rolling, two completely different worlds. So that tells me he's got some things to learn in the pass game, just understanding his reads, understanding where blitzers are coming from, and then really exploiting where those blitzers are coming from and where the blitzes are coming from. Because where there's a blitzer, there's open space. There's guys somebody's going to be open in that spot. And then the last thing that I had is they just, like, Michigan does not have very good talent on the edge. Like, Bryce Underwood is extremely talented, like I've said, but they don't have anybody that can create any significant separation on the outside, on top of leading the country in drop passes. So even whenever he is putting the ball there, which I'm not saying he doesn't do, he puts the ball in a good spot plenty of times. Like, does a great job putting the ball where his guys can catch it. But they have 7 drop passes, which leads all of college football. Like, you got to help a true freshman quarterback out, especially whenever it's on the road. I think they had 3 in week 1 and then 4 in week 2. So you're on the road, true freshman, going against Brent Venables, one of the best defensive minds in the game. You can't be dropping passes for the kid. You got to be pulling. You have to step up and pull through and make those catches. You're just going to make his life easier. Dropping those passes not only hurts your confidence, it hurts his confidence, and it puts him behind the chains. It puts the team behind the chains, and just makes the offense and all together flow completely differently. And then the last thing that I want to note, like, the reason Michigan was good back in 2021, 2022, and 2023 is because they had elite offensive line play. Like when I say elite offensive line play, I mean there wasn't a unit for probably 3 years in college football that was better in terms of the trench play from Michigan's side of things. Michigan, it's not like back then Michigan had Jeremiah Smith or JSN or Marvin Harrison Jr. They had good talent, but it wasn't like these earth-shattering talent of guys that are going to go to the NFL and be stars in the NFL. Michigan was good because they could control the line of scrimmage, they could run the ball, and they had a quarterback that can make smart plays and make the easy throws. So I think that, for one, and I'm not knocking like Roman Wilson or any of those other guys that played. Like, those guys were really good players. They made the plays that they needed to in the roles and the positions that were asked of them. But for Michigan, I think, to get back, and what Michigan's identity is we're going to turn around and we're going to hand the ball off 30 to 40 times, and we're going to smack you in the fucking mouth as we do it. And then, once you load the box, we have a good quarterback where we're going to kill you with the play action, And we have good enough playmakers on the edge where they're going to be running free, and we're going to hit you for those 10, 15, 20, 25-yard plays downfield. Then you start getting out of the box again, and we're just going to keep handing it off, keep punching you in the mouth, over and over and over and over and over again. I don't think they have that identity. I don't think that they have the guys up front that they had back at that point. I think everybody knew that Michigan was going to take a little bit of a step back after the 2023 national championship. Obviously, they had the 15 or whatever guys that went to the NFL. But that was a very veteran-led team. You had a lot of experience go out the door. You had a lot of guys that have been in the Harbaugh program and have been around the Michigan program, built that culture that went out the door. And I think you've been kind of chasing it ever since. And I did hear something interesting the other day, too. They said Michigan beating Ohio State and Alabama, like that was awesome and it was good for the program. But in terms of like expectations for this year or maybe having issues that they had on the team that they then kind of just decided to ignore, I guess, coming into this year because they had those 2 wins at the end of the year, might have ultimately hurt them and as they roll into this season. Obviously, I just got done saying, you're only 2 games in. There's 10 games to go. You have a stud quarterback, a really young kid that has all the talent in the world. Season's not over. You can still do everything. Everything that you wanted to do coming into this year is still in front of you. You still have Michigan State. You still have Ohio State. You only have 1 loss. You can still get into the postseason. But you got to put it together quick. You got to rally the troops, and you got to figure out what makes Michigan successful, what makes this Michigan team, and how you can maximize and develop Bryce Underwood. What does that look like as you go along into 2025?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Besides, like, I do believe that like Donovan McCulley is a, like I would say a little bit above average. Like I do think he's good. I think he can be like a potential playmaker. And I'll get to that here in a second. But like I do agree with you that with like Sherrone Moore being the OC and then getting Grant Newsome to be the O-line coach, like we are seeing the same problems that we saw last year, to where the O-line is not as strong, not as efficient. We don't have the elite players sitting there in the trenches that we did in 21 through like 23. And I do think a lot of that also has to do with like just the way the schemes, the offensive schemes that Chip Lindsay was running Saturday night. Just for example, and I took a bunch of notes on this because I watched the film again. So Michigan, they basically, and Joe Klatt talked about this too, that Michigan would bunch the offense with the inside runs, and then which caused Oklahoma also to come forth and bunch up with Michigan. So if Michigan had, let's say, 6 on the line, like they're in the wing pro set, and they had like McCauley out to the left or right, which opens up to either A, you're going to do an inside zone, or B, you can, this kind of like gives you the chance to do like some RPOs or like some tight end drives, right? So once Michigan is lined up and they have like 7 on the line, and then they have Oklahoma's sending 7 on the line as well, like we were just getting overpowered the whole fucking night. And it didn't help out with like Bryce's confidence as well, especially when they're running in these play action passes. And in fucking, for some reason, Michigan has five O-line on the line, and then Oklahoma sending fucking 7. So a couple other things I noticed a lot, that we played to not lose, vice playing to win. We one drive, we ran an inside zone. Then the next 2 plays in the drive, I think it was like 2nd and 7, we ran a bubble screen to Justice Haynes, and then on 3rd and 6, we ran another fucking bubble screen. To which I'm just like, why not like create any open, any plays that basically gets the wide receivers open, and also utilize the tight ends. I know that Marlon Klein was hurt, to which I really didn't see anyone else out there besides Marlon Klein that was like making plays in the tight end wise. Besides like one play number 83. to which like it really hindered our offense knowing that Marlon Klein wasn't there. Like you can just tell like he's a key point. Before I go on,
Yeah.
like looking at the game plan versus New Mexico, and I understand it's New Mexico, but the game plan versus New Mexico versus the game plan versus Oklahoma was night and fucking day. To where I think Chip Lindsay during New Mexico was telling Bryce, go out there, start slinging the ball, start making plays. Because what I saw at the game and watching the film against New Mexico, we're running RPOs to which Bryce is getting the ball off the Marlon Klein, and then we're doing a lot of rollouts to which Goodwin and Bell and also McCauley are getting open on hitch routes or corner routes or out routes. You didn't really see that a lot, and what worked best for Bryce Underwood on Saturday was doing the rollouts, either a sprint out or like a play action rollout. And we only ran that
that's
play
like
3 times.
exactly like I said. Like he is phenomenal on throwing on the run. He's accurate and
Yeah.
he can get the ball out.
Like he looked really good. And I don't think that like really does our receivers like any justice either. To when like it's 3rd and fucking 6 and we're running another bubble screen to Samaj Morgan. Like, come on. Like what the fuck are we doing here? Like it literally looked like the same offense that we saw all of last year. And I was so pissed watching that game. I was like, you might as well just put Davis Warren out there if we're just gonna treat the best fucking not the best, but like one of the most like talented like freshman quarterbacks to come into college football, right? I did notice like I don't think Chip Lindsay or Moore made any adjustments on offense throughout the whole game, especially in second half. Like we saw the 75-yard run from Justice Haynes. That was great, but he only averaged about like 2.2 yards per carry, which was not great. O-line was not playing it well. And I noticed that like Brent Venables, like he would send like 6 or 7, and then Michigan just has like fucking 5 O-line, and it doesn't help that like we're in like pistol play action, like we're doing pistol play action passes, or we're in shotgun formation, and there's only 5 O-line, and obviously like Brent Venables is going to pressure the shit out of Bryce Underwood. Why? Because he's a freshman quarterback. You're going to put him in this environment to make him feel really uncomfortable. And that created timing in a pocket where Bryce Underwood literally only had maybe under a second. I timed this out too. I think it was like 0.83 of a second. He had time to get the ball off. I mean, he just couldn't do shit at all. And that's where I think like the graphic here, like you see that. I think this is like one of those instances where he just had 0 time to like plant his feet, get the ball going, and I think he'll learn that as like he progresses like throughout his development in college football. Maybe, obviously, like shoulders straight, like feet straight. It's basically pointing towards the target.
Line up to your target. They teach you this whenever you're 5 years old and you first start learning how to throw a football, a baseball, whatever it might be. I think that like you just need to hone in on the simple stuff like that with him. If you can get him doing that stuff, like the hard part with Bryce is done. Like the talent. Like you can't teach the talent. You can't teach the arm strength. The easy part is getting him to do the fundamentals, because anybody in the world can do that. Any college quarterback can do that. So that's why I think that is as important as anything, is to get him to really fundamentally hone in onto his craft and what he's doing. And I think he's going to see more success. And you can still have those off-platform plays, as we've said a couple times on this show, whether it's talking about Bryce Underwood or Caleb Williams. They both had the talent and the athleticism to move around and make plays with their feet. But it's as simple as like you don't need to do the fancy sidearm type throw. Like I saw that a couple times from him, which I'm sure Michigan's coaching staff is all over his ass about it, because especially if it's an older guy, you kind of get it a little bit. You might mention something, but when it's a freshman quarterback in a situation that he was in, like I'm sure they're all over him about it. The one question that I had, and it doesn't have to do with Bryce, it's more so about Chip Lindsay. So he came from North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
So I like I think back to the offenses of like Drake May and just like the different offenses that North Carolina runs. It's more of a like I'll call it like more of like an Ohio State style offense, like a spread guys out, get playmakers ball in space, like that kind of offense. Do you think that there's anything to that like that's just not Michigan? Like Michigan's never looked like that. They've always been a great offensive line, punch you in the mouth, lead with our run game, and we'll hit you on the back end with our pass game. Do you think it's just like not a good marriage, maybe?
I did I did hear like stuff about that, and I know Joe Klatt was talking about that, where like Michigan has like identity issues on offense.
Oh, was he? I
Where,
honestly haven't listened to him at all. Did he say something along those lines too?
yeah, he said that because Michigan is like what you said, punch you in the mouth, like constrict the trenches, constrict the defense to where like they're just running up and down the defense all day, and that's something that like we didn't see at all. And I do think that like just the schemes that Chip was running just doesn't help at all. When like I said earlier, you only got like 5 on the fucking line, and then you can see Brent Venables is sending 7. Like that O line, no matter like how experienced they are, like they're gonna get overwhelmed.
Seven is more than 5.
Yeah, like 7's more than 5. Like, and Jake Butt called this out too. Yes, I think Sunday or Monday, to where like he was doing kind of like a little bit of like a play-by-play analysis, and you can see like in the 4th and 1, where it's like it's fourth quarter and there's like 36 seconds left, and we decide to run like the inside zone, to where I think McCauley and Morgan are stacked on the left-hand side, and then no, Goodwin and Morgan are stacked on the left, and McCauley's by himself. And you can see the separation between like the receivers and quarterbacks. Like they're given like 10 yards, right? And I counted how many I have it in my notes here. So Oklahoma had 7, and we had 6, and at just basically data throughout the whole night, like our O-line's getting absolutely destroyed. So we don't do anything else. No RPO, no slants, no hitch routes. I mean, those things can be easily achievable, especially when you have that much separation. Like even drag routes, like McCauley could have ran a drag, like Chip Lindsay could have had McCauley run a drag route, a hitch route, could have had Morgan running an out route, and then also have Goodwin doing a slant. But no, we decided to do an inside zone where like our O-line just got absolutely overwhelmed, and then we didn't convert, right?
I also think some of that too is like, as a quarterback, you notice like you get up to the line, like you give a hard count, whatever it might be, but you like the defense shows what they're going, and I think like Michigan needs to find a way to hey, whatever play that we have here, Bryce, it's not working against what they're running here. We need to check. We need to have a different play that we can check to, because it looks like they're showing blitz. Like we need to check to something, because an inside zone here, they're showing their blitz in 7. We only got 5 blockers. 7's more than 5. This is not a good play for what they're calling. So we need to check to something quick. I don't know if it's just the fact that Bryce is young. You don't want to throw all that on him, because that's a lot for a freshman quarterback early in game 2 on the road. Like that's a lot for Bryce to process. But I think if they can get to that point, like I don't know how Michigan's running their offense. I don't know how they do things. But to have the ability to have a guy to just check to a different play, because this just isn't a good play call for whatever the defense is showing, I think that alone could help Michigan a ton.
Like, like I agree with you. Like, especially like kind of like just identifying like who the mites are, and just like reading, like doing your pre-reads on the defense. I just think that like Chip Lindsay and Jerome Moore, like we're just playing to not lose. And I mean, it's the same before like it got disconnected. I was saying like the same thing the Seahawks and Klubenik and McDonald were doing with the Niners. Like they were just playing to not lose and not playing to win. And like you could see that like how conservative like Chip Lindsay was being, running, doing inside zone, screen, and like you're just not like nobody's getting any separation when you notice that like the edge rushers are playing in the flats. Like, of course, the DBs that are sitting there over there, and the edge rushers are going to pick up on the fucking running back. Like, it's so obvious, and like we run the same play over and over again. Like, it's basically just going to be clockwork at this point. Like, there wasn't like what like I said earlier, like what worked best like for Bryce was doing like the play action rollouts or like the sprint outs. So where like the receivers were getting separation. Like you saw that like Samaj Morgan was getting separation, or like Donovan McCulley was getting separation. And like we just didn't like stick to that at all. And then like noticing like when we were running RPO plays, like when we were in Oklahoma's red zone and we ran the RPO and Donovan McCulley is basically blocking the DB and he throws the ball over there. It's just like major miscommunication. And it happens again when Bryce throws in the Bryce is thinking that McCulley is doing a corner route when McCulley takes the post route and he's wide fucking open. And I mean, it's just like the small things to where like the offense is just not meshed at all. Like there's no chemistry there between like the whole team. And you saw like the bickering back and forth between like Haynes and Bryce on the sideline. You know, people talking about like, oh, there's trouble in Michigan. I'm like, I'm glad Bryce is saying something. Like, yes, he's a freshman, and Justice Haynes is a junior. You know, he's experienced, but like, I want someone, even regardless of age and experience, like if people are fucking up, like someone needs to like check them. You know what I mean?
Call them out. Be a leader. Call them out and get the shit right.
Call them out. You know what I mean? I just think, like, another theory of mine is how is it that that we get Chip Lindsay, who runs a spread offense, and you know obviously has some recognition for having a pretty decent offense, you know, at North Carolina, and also at Troy, and being somewhat successful. That our offense literally looked the same as it did last year. Like I did not understand it, and the more and more I thought about it, is I think Sherrone Moore has a lot more to say in that offensive play calling than people expect. I think that Sherrone Moore's game plan was probably to play conservative with Bryce instead of letting Bryce do what he does best. And we saw that. We saw that Saturday. I'm not really excited for like weeks to come, but I'm interested to see what Saturday against Central Michigan, and then obviously the big road test again against Nebraska, because Sherrone Moore won't be there because we got big fat fucking Biff as the interim head coach. But I want to see, is it Chip Lindsay or is it Sherrone Moore? Like, is Sherrone Moore put in his?
Who do you think it is?
I think it's Moore. It's
you
literally
think it's Sherrone Moore?
Yeah, I think it's Moore. I do think that
Okay.
Moore is. I told Lindsay to play conservative. Like, I do think that like he has a lot more say in the offense than like what people realize. Obviously, he's the head coach, but I'm not. There's just
he was the offensive coordinator before this too. So it's like Ryan Day. Like Ryan Day is no longer the offensive coordinator, but I guarantee he's heavily involved in the offensive game plan.
Yeah. I mean, I could be like terribly wrong in this. It's just so coincidental that we were running the same offense that we had with fucking Davis Warren last year, and we're just not moving the ball down.
Yeah. You got to run the offense like you got a guy to run the offense, because you do.
Yeah.
Yes, he's young. Yes, he's going to make mistakes. Yes, he's going to have moments where you're just like, God fucking damn it, what are you doing? But that comes with the nature of having a 5-star all-everything. 18 years old. He's 18 years old. He's going to make mistakes. But the way people grow is by making mistakes. Obviously, don't go out there and put so much on him that you shatter his confidence and he can't progress as the year goes on. But they need to put more on him. Like, he is talented. You can see the arm talent. You can see he can push it downfield. They got to just not open it up completely, but to go in there with like almost like a protective game plan, I guess you could say, was kind of asinine because, like you said exactly, like you don't have Davis Warren out there anymore. You can still ask Bryce to make the simple throws because you need a little bit of that just to get his confidence going early in a big game. But you can ask him to do a little bit more. And when I say do a little bit more, you're not asking him to make checks at the line. You're not asking him to do a lot of different checks, audibles, different things of moving guys around. You don't want to put more on him in his mind, but put more on him in what he's good at. He's a talented kid with a very strong and very, very talented arm. He's very good at that. So ask him to make harder throws. Ask him to push the ball downfield a lot more than what you did, Davis Warren, because he can do it.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree. Like, do you remember? I think it was the first drive in the series for Michigan, to where they did a rollout, and I think Oklahoma sent 6 again, and one of the edge rushers was pushing on Bryce, and then you see Samaj Morgan out there in the flat, and then Bryce just throws like, a perfect throw, like just good amount of touch, like a laser beam, to which like I guess Bryce will, like, he'll figure that out, but like you can see those throws, like Bryce can make those throws. It's just that Chip and like Strom Moore, like they have to adjust the offense to be around like his strengths and what his weaknesses are. And what also like pisses me off too is that we have a receiver that is fucking 6'5", and he can make fucking plays. We saw that.
Throw it
like
up.
He had that behind the helmet catch when Bryce threw it up. When he was running when McCauley was running the corner route.
Yeah, that was a hell of a play.
Yeah, like you can, like, it was underthrown just a little bit, but McCauley went up and made the fucking play. It's like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we so single-minded on offense to where like we're playing just to fucking lose when we should be playing to win? Like,
you're playing not to lose.
Yeah, or playing not to lose. Yeah, my bad. Not playing to lose, but
yeah.
Yeah, well, it felt like playing to lose.
Yeah. I got you though.
Like,
yeah.
Another example is 3rd and 6. 3rd and 6, we run an outside run to Haynes, and Oklahoma sends 7. We have 5 linemen, 5 fucking linemen. We run an outside zone. It's like, dude, what is going on here? Like, are you guys like not seeing this shit? Like, send my ass to fucking Norman. I will coach this team better than fucking Chip Lindsay and Strom Moore. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, it was so frustrating. Like, I haven't been this mad watching Michigan football since watching the Oregon game last year, to where, like, we completely shit down our leg, and Kirk Campbell just completely sabotaged that fucking entire game.
Well, I also think that there's a sense, too, where last year you kind of just knew what you were with losing a lot of guys from the national championship team the year before, and you knew that you didn't really have a guy at quarterback. But it's like, dude, just literally do what we did last year and then throw Bryce Underwood into this. We had 7 wins last year. Throwing Bryce Underwood into the mix, that at least should get us 9, maybe 10 wins, right? Like, I think that I don't know. It's just so frustrating because you see the talent out of the kid that's now running the offense, and it's like the product on the field should be a lot better than this.
Right, I agree. It's like, how do we digress on offense? Like, I do think Justice Haynes is better than Mullings, and I think like Jordan Marshall is better than Donovan Edwards.
Haynes is definitely more versatile than Mullings. Like, he has a lot more home run ability.
Like the first 2 games, like where he's had 3 like 3
explosive
long runs.
Touchdowns.
Yeah, explosive touchdowns. Like you see that with like Justice Haynes.
Yeah, for sure.
I just don't understand like how we go backwards, how we digress into this offense to where we are acting like Davis Warren is at the helm when we have probably one of the most talented and athletic freshmen in college football right now, and we're just fucking handcuffing him. And which worries me the most, because like going forward, like, what do you think this is going to do like Bryce's development? Like, do you think that like Strom Moore can develop a fucking quarterback? You know, like does he have that ability to do that? We don't know at this point. I mean, we'll find out as like the months go on. But I like, call me a pessimist, call me a naysayer, call me a sadist, but I have zero fucking confidence in this football team. It's like I'm living in a twilight zone, and I'm seeing Michigan, recruit, 5-star talent, especially for the 2026 class coming up, to where like we got Savion Hyder coming up, and then we got some 5-star linemen, some 5-star edge rushers, and 4-star wide receivers coming to this team. Like, if we run the same exact fucking offense to where, like, we're just playing safe, we're just going to keep losing. Like, there needs to be some risk. And you can see that between, like, Harbaugh's mentality of football compared to Moore, right? Like, do you remember, like the thing that you would see with, like, Harbaugh and Moore is that, like, Harbaugh would go for, like, plays, like, especially, like, if you're 4th and fucking 1 on someone's, like, 45 or 38 yard line, like, you go for that. Especially, like when you need the points at this point and you're, like, down, like, maybe a touchdown or, like, 4 points. Like, you got to get these fucking points. Yeah. And I know, like, I made the post about Michigan was on Oklahoma's 38 and we decided to fucking punt the ball. Like, what are we doing? We have the best kicker in college football. We're on the road. Like, we need these points. Our offense is not producing anything on the field, and we need the points. Like, I don't understand. Like, maybe it's that skill gap between being a competent head coach to being, somewhat to being, like, inexperienced. And I just feel like I don't think Moore can coach this team. I don't think Moore is a Michigan head football coach. And to be a hot take, right now, I feel like Moore is basically a slightly better version of Brady Hoke.
Ooh.
Like, that's how I feel.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a lot. But,
Ooh.
I mean, Brady Hoke's fucking year.
That even hurt me.
We beat Ohio State. We lose to Michigan State, but we win a fucking bowl game against Virginia Tech. And he looked fantastic. Everyone's like, oh, yeah, praise and all that shit. Last year, we looked like shit. But, we beat our rivals. We beat Michigan State. We beat Ohio State. And we beat Alabama in a bowl game, right? Like, I want more. And I want playoffs. Like, I want national championships.
Yep.
And, like, I had people coming after me because I made that post, and we talked about this, how Ohio State literally lost a quarterback. They lost an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, running backs, a ton of key players on defense, a ton of key linemen, and they have a 5-star quarterback playing Julian Sain, and just a bunch of new faces that were just in that depth room, just waiting to play. And you guys look fucking good. I was like, why can't Michigan be like that? Like, why do I have to sit here and watch this team fucking struggle over and over and over again because of incompetence? Like, I don't understand this. Like, I just want to be good. I want to be competitive. That's all I want. It's like, it's not really much to ask for. And that's like, Michigan fans need to realize that there is a total deviation between, like, the two programs of Ohio State and Michigan. Like, from 21 to 23, Michigan was dominant. They were elite. They had elite coaching positions where Jim Harbaugh completely siphoned that fucking 23 team, and most of those people went to the NFL, right? Now, it's like night and day. Like, Ohio State just continues to be dominant. They continue to reload, while Michigan continues to, like, fail and, like, try and find a fucking identity into what they are. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. I don't think it's like a crazy take to say that, like, Ohio State is a much better program than Michigan is. Like, I feel like that's
they're just more they're just more consistent. Like, Ohio State hasn't had a year of less than 10 wins, minus a COVID year. Obviously, they haven't played 10 games, but they haven't had a year of less than 10 wins since, I think, like 2009 or whatever it was. So, like, they just, when guys leave, they just reload. Like, it's just Guys leave, okay, it's next guy up. And, like, the standard doesn't change year to year to year to year. I mean, yeah, Michigan has beaten Ohio State 4 times in a row, and you deserve all the credit in the world for that. But in terms of just consistency overall as a program, factoring in postseason success, like, I mean, I hate it when people are like, well, why stop at 25 years? Why not go to 50? But it's like, whatever, like 10, 15, 20, 25 years, whatever it is. Like, Ohio State has been more consistent in the postseason, winning games in the postseason, appearing in the postseason than what Michigan has.
No, I mean, you nailed it. Like, you guys are consistent. Michigan is not. Like from years of, like, when Harbaugh came on board, I mean, he did, like, completely change the program around. But the problem is that we couldn't beat top 5 teams. Like, we can beat Wisconsin and Penn State, but we can never beat Ohio State. We can never beat other teams. We couldn't beat Florida State when they were good. And anyone else that was, like, competent in the top 5. We could never do it. And, like, it just upsets me the most. And I'm not fucking shilling for Ohio State either. I just, like, you can just see the vast, like, difference between, like, just the coaching. And that's something that, like, where Michigan lacks so much now is, like, where we don't have elite coaching. Like, Ryan Day, I don't give a fuck that Ryan Day is the coach of Ohio State. I can give credit when credit's due. Ryan Day is a fucking phenomenal coach, and I like the guy. Like, I like him. Like, he's a good guy. He's a good coach.
I would like him too if I beat him 4 times in a row.
But yeah, like, sure, we could beat him, but you know, he like, last year was, like, the testing point. Like, you guys lost to Oregon at Oregon, and you lost to Michigan at home.
Yeah, his program was at a teetering point.
Right, like, he was on the fucking hot seat at that point. Like, and, like, your guys' fans, and we talked about this. Like, it was split down the middle to where some people wanted Ryan Day gone because he can't beat Michigan, he can't beat good teams, and other people just relax. It's gonna happen, and it fucking happened. You guys went through the playoffs. You dominated every single fucking team, and you beat top 5 teams. Like, that was something that where the biggest difference between the past Ryan Day to, end of year last year, where Ryan Day struggled to beat good teams besides, like, Penn State.
The teams that he was more talented than he was always going to beat.
Right. Exactly. And, like, it was a complete fucking change. And I saw that week 1 against Texas to where I felt like, this is, like, the testing point right here. Is Ryan Day, is he being consistent to where they left off with the championship run in 2024?
Like, he's a great coach. Is he an elite coach?
Right. I think Ryan Day's an elite coach. Like, I don't think that's.
I do too.
I don't think that's a crazy thing to fucking say. Like, I do think Ryan Day's an elite coach.
I think the most frustrating part, and Metal, I'm sorry, I have to mow my yard yet, and the sun's going down, so I got to hop off of here in the next couple minutes. But I think the thing that, like, upset me the most about Ryan Day is, like, the only time I ever really questioned him and was like, I don't know if he's the guy for the job, was after that Michigan loss last year. Other than that, any Michigan fan that would bitch any Ohio State fan that would bitch and complain about he can't beat Michigan, I want him out, he can't do this. I'm like, dude, this guy is a fucking great coach. He is one of the best coaches in college football. He just needs to get over the damn hump. Just like Kirby Smart, just like some of these other younger coaches that we've seen. Dan Lanning is in the same spot right now. Dan Lanning is one of the best coaches in college football, but he hasn't won the big one. He hasn't beaten the top teams when it mattered most. That's his next step. I think he's going to get there eventually, whether it's this year, next year, whenever it is. I think he's going to get there, but I could always see, like, you don't want to run Ryan Day out because he's going to go somewhere else and he's going to win. He's going to figure it out. This is his first coaching gig he's ever had. It's his first head coaching gig he's ever had. Like, hiring a first-time head coach, you have to go in with a plan that you're going to give the guy a little bit of time to develop and figure things out. Unless he goes from going 10-2, 11-1 down to like 6-6. Then I understand. If you have that much of a drop off, you get him out. But if he's still winning 10, 11, 12 games a year, winning some bowl games, things like that, making some playoff appearances, you don't fire that. You don't get rid of it. Because in Michigan's sake right now, they would take that in a heartbeat. They've had their good coach, their Urban Meyer, walk out, and they've replaced him with his successor, Ryan Day. Michigan has replaced him with their Ryan Day. And it's through, 15 games? Like, he's beaten his rivals. He's won a bowl game. But it's not the standard, and it's not the production that you guys expect or the production that you guys deserve.
Yeah, I agree. Like, we don't deserve, like, going from 21 to 23, like, losing one game, just dominating people in the trenches, having our flutes in the playoffs. It's like, why do I deserve this as a Michigan fan to watch my team completely shit itself down its fucking leg, to where, like, I know Michigan is so much better than this, and we have the talent to be so much better. It's just the coaching just is so lackluster and asinine, to where, like, we don't have the elite coaches that we had from 21 to 23, and it shows so fucking much. Like, besides, like, Wink Martindale, like, I think Wink Martindale is a great coach. You can't, like I said this earlier, you can't have your fucking defense on the field all day. Like, that's like, it just basically suffocates them all throughout the fucking game. And you can see that, like, between, like, Matt Patricia and Wink Martindale, to where, like, they bring these NFL defensive schemes over to college, and they work.
It works.
Like, they definitely work. It fucking works. It's just offense, and whoever's at the helm of the head coach. So, I mean, we'll see how this year progresses. If Michigan and Sherrell continue to have the same offensive identity as they did against Oklahoma, I don't think we win fucking 7 games. I think we win maybe 6. Like, I just don't think we will beat Nebraska or USC, probably not even fucking Washington, and definitely not fucking Ohio State. Like, and possibly, like, Michigan State looks pretty good. Like, they look decent. Like, if we play like that, like we played Saturday, we're not beating these fucking people. It's just the way it is now. Like, they need to make changes.
Yeah, they got to get it figured out quick. They got 1 week to figure it out. You don't have your head coach or anything for the next couple weeks, and that road trip out to Lincoln's going to be a bitch. I hate to say, but hey, Meadow, I really got to get going. I'm going to be mowing my yard tonight. I think it's getting pretty dark out here. But you got anything at last remarks or anything to say, whether it's about Michigan, NFL, college football as a whole?
Oh, Daniel Jones for MVP.
Oh, he was showing out.
Yeah, he looked really good. I'm glad. I'm happy for him.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks for everybody for coming on and listening tonight. Did you have anything else to say? Sorry.
No, I said I got nothing. So.
All righty, perfect. Well, if you could please like, subscribe, retweet, do all the things that helps make us grow, we greatly appreciate it. Other than that, this is another episode down. Middle Ground out.